Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the most important NYCFC podcast. You guys are hanging with the dudes in blue. Hope this episode finds you well. It's episode number 95. We are fast approaching our 100th episode. I'm your host, Joe Amato, and alongside me, as always,
Antonino.
Hey.
What is up, dude?
Dude, what's going on this beautiful Monday evening?
We're almost at 100 caps, dude.
Almost 100 episodes, man.
That's impressive.
If you told me that this was going to hit 100 episodes, I mean, it hasn't yet, but if you told me that we had the chance to get 100 episodes, I would have thought you were absolutely insane.
Absolutely.
So, we want to welcome you guys to this 95th episode of the Dudes in Blue. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook Live, on the podcast, wherever you guys are watching this episode. I want those comments to start rolling in. Let us know where you're from. Start smashing that like button. Share this video with your friends. Do everything that you can to help spread the word about the Dudes in Blue. And we've got a really good episode for you guys tonight. We got a lot to talk about, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the New England Revolution match to cover. We have got some injuries to talk about. We've got Vieira's tactics or non-tactics to talk about, and some more stadium jabs to kind of feed you guys with. So we got a lot. We definitely got a lot to go over with you. And we're so excited that you guys are with us. So that being said, let's right off the bat say hi to Jason Pena, who's always here. Steven Berg, what's going on, buddy? We've got Lauren says, nice haircut, babe. So Lauren, get that Google Doc ready because we're going to be deciding on the dude of the match pretty soon. Hey, Paul, how are you? Hope everything is well. Christian Smith coming in hot with the notification. Daniel Patrick saying hi. Glenn Perez. We got a lot of people joining in, guys. Thanks so much. We've got some Long Island people with Amato here. Amato, almost my last name, but that's your first name. Amado. What's going on, buddy? Thanks so much for joining us. Coco is back as well. I'm trying to get to everybody. Thank you guys so much. Anthony is in the Bronx.
The regulars.
Are we going to get to talk about the match here?
Listen, you're the host. You start.
You started this. All right.
You want to give the Italian hellos, you got to go kiss everybody hi.
This is like a receiving line. I feel like this is a wedding.
We'll take your envelopes, though.
That's right. No, we do want the envelopes. Thank you. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We do love it that you're here. All right. So right off the bat, NYCFC traveled to Gillette Stadium over the weekend, Foxborough, Massachusetts, came away with a point, which I'm going to say right off the bat, dude, we stole a point from New England over the weekend.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely, 100%. After that first half, just any kind of points coming out of that game are going to be just highway theft. I mean, just total robbery. I just can't believe I was so frustrated. And you and I got a chance to watch the game together, which away games we don't usually get a chance to do, but we were just like, you couldn't believe it. It's like night and day from the last 3 games to now. It's just completely, and we understand that there was, there's difference in lineup and things like that. And it's just that when you see tactically what's going on, the same thing happening over and over again and nothing being done different, I think that to me was the most frustrating point of that game.
Yeah, well, Steven is asking, are we disappointed or happy with the tie? I think we 100% stole that point, and I'm treating that draw as a win because New England could have easily put up 2 or 3 more.
Oh yeah,
without question, right? Like they should have won. They honestly should have won that game. New England fans should have been a lot more upset than NYCFC fans were at the end of that game, right? So. Yep. I think right off the bat, dude, let's kind of talk a little bit about the pressure here. Paul is saying we couldn't get past the halfway line, and I want to play some of Patrick Vieira's press conference because he did address this a little bit, right? The first 20, 25 minutes of the game, dude, New England was pressing us really, really high, and no matter what happened, however many times that ball got back to Sean Johnson, the man just would not play the ball long and go direct. And this is the issue that we run into because when the ball gets turned over, as it did with the first goal, which was a gorgeous goal by Diego Fagundes, that's what's going to happen. When teams press you that are even better than you, that are better than the Revs, we're going to run into some issues.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're facing that much pressure and there's nothing to do to do with the ball besides give it back to the keeper, hold it, or launch it deep. You're going to lose the ball either way. You're going to have a giveaway. You're going to turn over possession down the field, or you're going to turn it over right where you are. Where would you like to lose the ball?
Well,
you've got to clear it. You've got to
be
clear
out.
it.
Yeah.
At that point, you've got to figure out what's going on. You've got to realize with that high of a press, you cannot hold the ball in your end because any mistake, the scoring chance is magnified 10 times because they don't have to cover any of the field. They don't have to string 4, 5, 6 passes together. It's one pass, and all of a sudden the guy's in scoring areas. It's super dangerous, and we say it all the time. You have to have a plan B. When plan A, playing out of the back, is not working and you're having mistakes made constantly and you're giving up scoring chances, you have to do something to throw off the defense. Yeah. You have to make the defense – you can't let them cheat. You can't let them play all the way up the field. If they're going to play high press, you got to go long.
Yeah,
this way,
I want to get a comment in here. David is saying it felt like in the first half every clearance we had went straight to the Revs and every clearance they had went straight back to them. But here's the thing. I don't necessarily have a problem. If our clearance winds up on their feet, that just means that they have to reset and restart. I don't mind them having to restart from their own end.
Yeah.
If it means giving us a chance to recoup and not have to absorb that pressure.
Yeah, it's essentially for the football fans out there, it's like punting on 4th down. You're going to give the ball up on turnovers if you don't get the first down. So would you rather punt it and have the opposition have terrible field position and let them start from back there and take your chances playing defense and recouping, or you want to give the ball up at your own 15-yard line and they have 2 plays to score?
Right,
it's
exactly.
the same thing. It's all about field position, and when you give it away, they don't have to do any work. And the better the team, the less work they have to do, and it just makes you look terrible.
Well, Anthony Merced, what's up, buddy, is saying an aggressive high press forces teams to make perfect passes. It's very hard to do with players like Ring and Vieira out of the lineup. 100%. I mean, when Maxi's not even able to get the ball, and that's an issue. Like when some of your best passers are not able to get the ball, you're not going to get out of that situation.
Yeah, even without the high press, your passing needs to be on. Everybody's passing needs to be on. You're a professional soccer player. So there's no excuses.
My whole thing with this match, again, aside from walking away with a point, which thank goodness, a road point is very, very important. I think the biggest takeaway here is that they need a plan B when it comes to that. And dude, I wanna jump into Vieira's press conference. I don't know if you guys got a chance to actually watch it. But we're gonna get Christian is asking is making comments about Euphoria and things like that. We're gonna talk a little bit about the players that came in for players that were out. But I want to get past this and just basically Patrick Vieira owning up to making some tactical mistakes. So here's Patrick Vieira in the post-match press conference against New England.
No, I think I think this is part of my responsibility as well. I think at times, especially the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they was pressing us really high, and with the pace that they have up front, they was closing us down and make it really difficult. And we tried to force it. I think the players, they were doing what I was asking them to do, and I don't think that was. There was a better option, so I think we could go a little bit more direct, especially the first 20 minutes. We didn't manage to break the first line, and this is why we struggled to play it, and we're putting ourselves into a danger, and I think that this is something that we need to adjust, because when we're going to face teams who closes down like that, we have to have a second plan, I will say it, maybe go a little bit more direct.
So there you heard it from the horse's mouth. We need to have another plan. We need to be more direct when teams press us. That's the big lesson learned here, I think, dude, is that, this was not the Red Bulls. This was not Atlanta. This was not Toronto. This was not Columbus. This was the New England Revolution, right? A team that struggled very, very much last year. And, this is the team that you learn that against. I think if you put us in that same situation against against Atlanta or Red Bull or Toronto or Columbus, that scoreline's going to look a hell of a lot different.
But here's my issue. We knew this. We knew this from last year. We knew this from when he first got here, that he's played this way, and he hasn't been able to adjust that way. There's never been a plan B. There's never been we saw one or two games where Sean Johnson started booting it up the field, and they started, doing something a little different. But other than that, yeah, we know. We understand. It's about time you got on board.
But to Christian's point over here in his comment, at least Vieira admitted to making tactical mistakes. He's usually
it took
stubborn.
him a season and a half to do it.
Yeah, but he's never really been one. Dude, how many times have you seen a performance like that, and he was quite really pleased with the performance?
Oh, you brought out the quite really pleased.
Do I have to drink? Is that the game?
Drink.
Hey, just a quick shout out here to Justin saying so amped to finally make the live show. What's going on, Justin? Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get a little bit into the lineup, dude, because we can go on about Vieira's tactical decisions all we want, but it only took us a year and a half for him to actually realize it. So I don't think anything's going to change anytime soon. But that being said, we had no Wallace, we had no Ring, we had no Villa. So we got to see Ebenezer Ofori, which just saying his name is just fun. I don't even care. That was fun. We got to see 50 different iterations of how to pronounce Joing Birgit's name by Joe Tollison. Still have no idea how to pronounce the dude's name. Right? And then dude, who am I missing? Oh, and obviously Izzy Tajori Shrati, right? So let's start with Ebenezer Ofori, dude. How did you feel him replacing Alex Ring in that kind of holding midfielder role?
First of all, no one replaces Alex Ring.
Okay,
we're just going to say it there. The guy plays out of his mind. He moves around the entire field. I think Ofori was a little more stationary in his positioning. Again, nothing really. These guys didn't have much of a preseason, so it's hard for me to give you an accurate judgment. Just from what I've seen, I don't have anything ultra negative. I don't have anything ultra positive. It's more of like you were out there and you played. Other than that, I mean, I really can't give you anything. Nothing really sticks out to mind as whether you did something really well or really poorly.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up some of the stats here, dude, because you really want to look at him on the defensive end, because I don't think he's really an offensive kind of powerhouse, right?
I don't think so. Especially if you're playing for Ring.
When you look at last week's game, when I think Ring had 10 interceptions in the game versus Ebenezer's 2 interceptions this match. Just look at Ring as just the dominant force in the midfield. That man really just, whether you have Herrera and Morales with him or not, Ring controls that midfield. He really does. He is that protection so those guys can play. I don't think Ebenezer Ofori gave us that sense of safety, which is why you didn't really see Morales and Herrera linking up all that often. Herrera had a few chances. Herrera had a really good game, I think, for the most part. But you really didn't get to see Maxi Morales unlock because you didn't have that defensive tower behind them.
Right. Listen, we said it last week. He's a player that allows everyone else to do their job and do it well, in my opinion. He just can play defense all over the field, not just in the middle. So 4 weeks without him is going to be a pretty big loss. But I think if we can manage to get everybody on board with the offense, I think our backline is capable enough. As long as the wing backs, the left back and right back, they've got to step it up because they had a horrible game.
Well, listen, Abdul Salam did okay. He picked up the assist on one of Tajuri's goals, right? But really, I think Ben Sweat had a pretty bad game.
It was a very un-Ben Sweat-like performance.
Yeah, I think this is, he had 3 pretty good games prior to this. Again, we talked about it while we were watching the game. All 11 guys are not going to have a stellar outing every single time they go out. This was one of Ben's that he just did not shine at all.
And for that matter, a lot of people didn't. It wasn't a lot of people's best games.
I mean, dude, I thought Chanot had a great game. I thought Chanot played pretty well. Collins was definitely not. Collins was not on point that much. But yeah, you do want to see more from your fullbacks. But again, dude, when these guys are not allowed to get up the field, how are you going to see? Where are you going to see them?
Exactly, it's difficult. But you see, when they were able to get through, they created their chances. So for me, as long as you can get the tactics worked out, I think the personnel is fine. I think these guys can hold it down for as long as need be. I think they've all got the talent. It's just a matter of now getting minutes and getting acclimated with each other. And I mean, if this game is played a little bit later on in the year, I think the scoreline's a lot different.
Well, no, for sure. I agree. Again, especially if it's against another opponent other than the Revs. Joingberget. I'm confused now.
Joinga Burgett.
Joinga Burgett. Joe Tollison said his name, I swear to God, 5 different ways within a 5-minute span.
I think Ian Joy bet him. He was like, listen, I bet you can't say his name 17 different ways by the end of the broadcast.
That's right, exactly. Oh, he got it. I think he definitely won the bet. But, his hold-up play was okay, but didn't really get a lot of opportunities. So I don't know if you necessarily fault him for that or you fault the players around him. He did hold up the ball for the second goal, right? So you got to give him props for that. But
they had a dummy run on the first goal.
He was involved off the ball, right, on the first goal. But other than that, I mean, dude, like he really barely touched the ball. I mean, like I'm trying to pull up the stats here, but again, I don't know if this is the game to necessarily judge his character on.
How can you? And this is why when I scroll through Facebook and I see the comments, I see he's irrelevant. The dude's played one game with no preseason.
Dude, he had
judge
only
somebody
34
like
touches
that?
all game, dude. The next person to have that few touches was actually Jesus Medina at 42. So if you could argue the same thing about Medina in this game.
Exactly. So you're going to tell me they're both trash? Absolutely not.
No, you can't.
You got to give these guys a chance.
They just didn't get the opportunities that they had.
It's one game. It's one game on turf. On turf, nonetheless. So you're talking about a totally different playing field where the ball is a lot quicker, a lot faster, and a lot more, got a little more elasticity on it.
Paul is saying he was on an island. I say we need to see more to make a proper judgment, and I agree.
Of course,
I agree.
Of course, and I want to see more because I've seen him. I've seen him do it before. You've seen him play.
I'd like to see him on the field with Vieira. That's what I'd like to see. I want to see with a creator like him.
Yeah, I do. My issue with him is that I think he's from what we saw yesterday, pace wise, not the fleetest of foot.
But I don't think that's what he's going to be known for, right?
No. I think he's going to be one of those garbage goal Tommy McNamara guys where he's going to fight, hold up the ball, and he's going to create a lot of space for everyone else.
Or he's going to blast it from 40 yards out and put it through the top of the net.
Which would be nice.
Which we've seen him nearly do in the highlights from his past, right? So
I want to see more of these guys. I want to see them play more. I want to see them get acclimated.
But I only want to see them. I only want to see them if the reason that they're playing is not something injury or health related from our top flight guys.
Right. You never want to see that. But for me, I think communication in the first half was a big problem. How many times did you see Ben Sweat yelling at his other defenders? How many times did you see Maxey trying to point people in the right direction?
I think that's a lot of it just out of frustration because I really don't think that they were anticipating that press. It's hard. You can't really understate that because think about the first few games that we played against Sporting, against Galaxy, and against Orlando. There was really no press, dude. We talked about how high our defensive line was able to actually play. This was the complete opposite from the last 3 games, so it's hard. So, yeah, dude, I think there's definitely going to be frustrations among players, especially when there's a team that's right down your throat. And listen, credit to New England, man. They played a dominating game. The scoreline is definitely not showing that.
No, they should have had 5 easily. But again, I mean, it is what it is. You get a point out of it, and we got a couple of good things out of it. I mean, Tajuri Shradi is just
Yeah, let's guys
what can we
smash
say?
smash the like button, please, if you liked Tajuri Shradi, because dude, if you guys checked my tweet from after the match, the dude has 100% scoring accuracy. 100% of the shots he's taken have gone in. The man has taken 3 shots, and they've all been goals.
Listen, efficiency at his best.
That's an efficient forward, man. That is what you want to see. I think, dude, his finishing is on point. That's what I will say about him. I think he's not going to give you a tremendous amount of chances, but I think his efficiency is going to convert the ones that he actually does get, at least what we've seen so far.
Here's the thing. I think playing him in Wallace's spot on the wing, his wing play versus his play in the middle of the field is for me, is that's where the change happens. On the wings, I think he's a little bit more he kind of telegraphs his passes. He's always looking left and right. He doesn't really know where everybody is. Yeah. But when he gets a chance in front of goal, dude buries it. I mean, like nobody else. I mean, 3 shots, 3 goals is fantastic.
Yeah, Mark is saying the composure in the box is uncompromised.
That's where he's got to be. That's where he's got to be. Playing on the wing for him, passing the ball in, you got to get it, and you have to make your run if you're playing the wing. If you're playing the middle, that means Villa's probably playing on the left, which you don't always want, even though he likes to play there and he can play there. You want him more in the middle, too. So now you got to figure out where these guys fit and where the puzzle pieces go in order to give you a great chance of scoring multiple goals a game.
Yeah, I got to say,
keep doing it, man.
Just keep doing it.
Just keep shooting.
His finishing really is something else. Christian is saying ITJ is Bay. I guess something like that. The goals themselves were pretty. They were team goals. I think. Yeah, I mean, what more can you say? This was pretty much like the second goal we had against Orlando, right? Where it's, again, build-up play, just really nice passing, Medina getting involved, Herrera getting involved, and that's what you want to see. Those are the types of goals that you want to really see.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first one was great, too. I mean, you've got a lot of moving parts going on that created that goal. You had Burgett with the dummy run coming in, and that leaves a lot of the net open for Tajuri Shradi to come in and put it home. And you need that to happen. You need that to happen more often, and you need those chances to constantly happen. So for me, this game was all about what can we do moving forward to get more of those chances, and what can we do to eliminate the high press? What can we do to counter the high press in order to alleviate some of that pressure in game?
Yeah, yep. Christian is saying we need Villa back and an alternative to Ring. Yeah, Ofori didn't really do it for me. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Paul is saying the second goal was a rocket. It 100% was. Definitely.
Great play. Great play from everybody on that. I mean, forget with the hold up to get it to Medina, and then for Herrera to be able to have that vision and just slot that pass in.
Yeah.
That pass is not easy. I mean, if you don't put it perfectly, it's going to either of the defenders that are right on either side of him. So kudos to everybody on that play. It was very, very, very well played out.
Yeah, not to keep jumping around a little bit, but I want to go back a little bit more to Patrick Vieira, dude, because Steven is bringing up a really good point that we really wanted to cover. And how about not using subs? So this, for me, I think was probably the most important aspect to this. Not so much the first 25 minutes where you just kept absorbing pressure, but more towards end of game management, where you're now at 2-2. You got 15 minutes left. You still have not made a sub, and New England is exhausted at this point. Why don't you see Jonathan Lewis? Number one, why do you only make one substitution, and it's a defensive substitution? And number two, why aren't you putting in fresh legs against tired legs?
Yeah, that was the other question that we had. Usually at the 65th minute, 70th minute, you usually see the subs start coming on, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden the clock is at 83, 84, 85, and you're like, I don't even remember anybody coming in.
Dude, Ibiaga didn't come on until the 87th minute for Ofori.
Yeah, and I don't even think they mentioned it on TV because I don't
No,
remember him
he cleared a
coming
ball
on at
out, and
all.
I was like, where the hell did he come from?
Yeah, so for me, you've got to figure out what's going on with Jonathan Lewis. If there's something wrong, is he doing something wrong? Is his behavior? Is it work ethic? I don't know. But to me, early on in the season, where you have the opportunity to play these younger guys, or give people with fresh legs an opportunity, why not? Why not go for it? Why not put a little bit of? There's no reason why you can't put a defensive sub and an offensive sub in and try to spark something. You don't really change anything on the field that way, except for the energy levels at certain areas. But
Sure.
it's not like you're replacing a defender with an offensive player and your defense is weaker. You're just putting in fresh legs, and that could be a huge help. And for me, you've got to do that. I mean, you had a chance. You could have possibly stolen 2 more points out of this game.
Yeah.
This is the time to do it when you have the ability to not have to worry about the standings. Where later on in the year, if you need 2 points bad, you're in a different way. You're in a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
You're playing a lot differently. Now you have the opportunity where, you know what, we could try to, let's steal 2 points here. Let's try it. Why not? We go for it. You lose a game in this part of the year, it might not mean much at the end. But
No, exactly.
the end of the year, it's harder to do that. And you need to know which guys you can count on. And right now, I don't know who we can count on.
Well, I don't know if Patrick knows who he can count on, right? Because Anthony here is saying that proof that he doesn't trust the bench. No need to put in players you don't have faith in. It's just kind of what we're talking about. I mean, but again, dude, how do you get faith in these guys? It doesn't happen at training. It happens in real game situations like this.
No. You have to. You've got to play these guys somehow.
Roddy Russell saying, what Vieira said worries me. There wasn't any reason to make the change if we didn't need it. Anyone left on the bench would probably remember that. So Vieira, apparently, according to Roddy's quote, Vieira didn't think he needed to make the sub. I guess he was just complacent with walking away with the point.
I think that's what it was, and I don't like that. I really don't like that. I don't like the fact that last year he conceded the supporter shield with like 5 weeks to go in the season, when they could have caught up mathematically. That I didn't like. So again, what you got to be careful what you say around people.
Yeah, Mark is saying that his bench was already in the game to start with. I mean, for the most part, but again, when you have guys like Tommy McNamara, Jonathan Lewis on the bench, and you've got fresh legs against a tired defense. And you have an opportunity. Look, you made the defensive substitution. You knew Ofori was tired. You drop in another defender. Great. Now you got 5. So what if you take out? I don't know. You take out Burgett and you put in Jonathan Lewis. Tajori's having a game. He's running on adrenaline. You take out somebody like Burgett and you put in Jonathan Lewis to start some trouble. And now all of a sudden you've got defense and you got offense.
Listen, just because these guys are not one of your first 18 choices. They're still your team. They're still your bench, and there's a reason why you have these guys. If they're not useful, let them go.
Yeah.
What are you doing with them? There's no point in having them around. You really need to utilize if you know the kid needs confidence, you got to get him minutes somewhere. We don't have a lower league team where we can throw these guys and let them build their game. You can't do that. You have to find them minutes within the season. And listen, you're going to have opportunities in July with the World Cup break where you're going to have guys out and they might
You're
be
going to
out
have to play these guys.
You might, now again, they don't play during the international group stage, but if guys end up going further and you've got, somebody filling in for Wallace, right. You can't expect that guy to play 90 minutes. You should not have to count on Tajuri Shradi to play 90 minutes when you can sub him in if he's having a bad game.
Yeah, no. Daniel's saying that the style we play inevitably leads to other teams getting tired from all the chasing. It makes no sense not to use fresh legs up front. It should be part of the plan every game. I mean, listen.
It should be the final nail in the coffin.
That's it. Seal the game. I mean, dude.
That's it.
Jonathan Lewis stole a game. Didn't we steal 2 points from the New England? Was it against the Revs at home last year? Or I might be thinking of somebody else.
He did score in the late minutes of one game.
He scored in stoppage time, right? So.
Yeah. I don't get it, dude. I really don't get it. It boggles my mind that you could play games, know what you're doing wrong, and it takes you that long to admit it and realize that you need to do something different and not make a substitution on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't understand why. Why
Yeah.
you saw plenty. Even for 10 minutes, you may have gotten a goal out of that at some point.
Yeah. No, dude,
You could have.
100%, 100%. I mean,
I don't
look,
know.
I think if he was still down 2-1, maybe. Right?
If you're down 2-1 and you don't make a change on offense to
You're
try to get a
insane.
point, I'm sorry. That is disrespectful to every fan out there. You have to fight and try to get as many points as you can out of each game.
Dude, you got
I
to
don't
remember
want to
too.
see
You got to
no
remember too,
laziness.
dude. The tying goal didn't come until the 75th minute. If you're down 2-1 in the 75th minute and you don't have a goal and you haven't made a sub yet, something's going on there. And dude, I'm hearing it was against the Revs. Christian is confirming it. Roddy Russell's confirming it. Who else we got here? Yeah, Paul is saying it was against the Revs. So, granted, it was at home. We have a tough time playing at Gillette Stadium, but it is what it is, right? So,
Yeah, that's a tough one too.
thank you guys for confirming that statistic there.
Guys,
This is good. We got like fact runners, man. This is the best.
the best.
But overall, again, moral of the story is they stole a point from the Revolution, and I hope that this really is a lesson learned for Patrick Vieira going against teams in the meat and potatoes of the season when you're facing Atlanta, when you're facing LAFC, when you're facing the Red Bulls and Toronto and Columbus. That's going to come back to bite us later on if we don't adjust something now. So we'll have to see against San Jose over the weekend, because honestly, dude, I haven't really been paying too much attention to San Jose, but I don't really know how they play. If they give us any kind of pressure, we'll see if he's actually made those tweaks to try to mitigate that a little bit, right?
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if anybody gets back in the lineup.
And David is saying, and still undefeated. So we got to definitely note that we are still undefeated. Smash the like button for the undefeated, because we are still undefeated. 4 games without a loss is pretty impressive. It's the best start we've had. So let's be thankful for that. And let's be thankful that we at least walked away with a point there. Guys, it's that time of the show where you guys start telling us who your due to the match was for this Revolution
And if
match.
it's anybody other than who we're picking, I'm going to go nuts.
That's right. Guys, start throwing in those comments now. I want to know who was the due to the match. Who was the player for you that made the game? Who was it? Here's what I will say, dude. According to WhoScored.com, the highest rated player was Yangel Herrera, which not for me.
Yeah, listen, he's on polar ends of the spectrum when it comes to playing soccer. He does things extremely well and terribly.
Yeah.
And never in the middle. It's either he's giving away passes to guys right in front of him, or he's making these ridiculous runs and passes to players. And he does it within one game every time. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But for me, he did have a good game. I will give him more of the pros and cons in this one. I thought he had a good game, but, I mean, let's be serious.
Well, okay, it's definitely the comments. We're just going to run down these here really quick. Amanda is saying, Amanda says Izzy. Steven says Izzy. Shradi says Paul. Can we agree that Daniel says Shradi? Can we agree
Shradi says Paul. Paul says Shradi.
I'm losing my mind. There are so many comments coming through. I can't deal. Christian says ITJ. Who else? Daniel Patrick says Izzy. David says Izzy. Steven says Shradi. Edgar says Shradi. 2 goals can't be denied, says Anthony. So Shradi. Dude, Lauren, if you're still watching, you're going to go ahead and have to write this one down. Ishmael Tajori Shradi is the 4th due to the match for NYCFC against New England Revolution. Big ups to Izzy for netting us the 2 goals and coming from behind twice in a match on the road at Gillette Stadium. Izzy, congrats, dude. If you're watching this, I don't know if you are.
Probably not, but hey, if you are, excellent job. Keep it up.
No,
Keep shooting. Just keep shooting. Just keep shooting constantly.
So NYCFC takes on San Jose in San Jose this weekend, Saturday night, 8:00 Eastern. I don't know what channel it's going to be on because I have no idea. But at any rate, it'll be really interesting to see if we're going to see Tinnerholm, if we're going to see David Villa. Those for me obviously are the two big question marks that I would like to see. I think I'd like to see Tinnerholm back. I'd like to see what he can do again. Although Saad Abdul Salam is not having terrible games, but really David Villa. I want to see David Villa back in his spot.
I also want to see what he does with the newer guys on the field. I want to see how he plays off of them and how they play off of him.
Yeah. So is Wallace back? Is he back in contention for this week?
That I don't know. We need one of our stat runners to.
All right, come on, fact checkers, come on. Is Wallace eligible to play for NYCFC on Saturday? Please let us know. Daniel's saying Wallace better be starting on the bench. Amanda is saying I find myself yelling "shoot" at the TV way too much. Yes, keep taking shots. Yeah, let's. I say give it to Tajori Shradi if we can, instead of Wallace. I mean, dude. Come on.
No, you gotta roll. You gotta roll with what's working, and
the dude's gonna have more and more confidence. So
might as well. Right, you ride the hot hand. That's the way it goes. That's the way it's got to be.
Paul is saying, "I'm pretty sure, but don't quote me." That's exactly what we need to do. We need somebody we can quote. Steven is saying it's on ESPN too, so I guess that's where we'll be watching it on Saturday night.
It's not a late game, is it?
I think it's on at 8 p.m.
Which is not bad because usually those San Jose games are on at 10.
Yeah,
they're a nightmare.
They can be pretty bad. So moving, he said Roddy plays today or tomorrow. Either way, it'll be a stretch to play him against the Quakes, says Christian. Hopefully, we'll see.
Especially with the travel. Yeah, that's true.
Let him take a couple days off.
Yeah,
let him take the rest.
We got it.
All right, guys, let's transition here. We got a couple more things to cover. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us so much for this episode 95. Keep hitting that like button, and please leave the comments. We want to know what you guys are thinking with regards to NYCFC. We're going to get as many comments in as we possibly can before we wrap up tonight's show. Dude, so some potential stadium news, and dude, I don't want to go like so crazy on this because it's kind of where it's like beating a dead horse here. The tweet came out earlier today. I'm putting it up on the screen here from Tony Larson at TL Pretender on Twitter. Says, Commissioner, this is Don Garber on NYCFC Stadium. They're making progress. I don't think we're going to see anything happen in the near future. So, yeah, guys, no surprise. There's no surprise here. If this is in fact true, this allegedly was taken from an interview that Garber had with Tina Servasio from Fox. She's with Fox Sports, I think, right, dude?
Believe so. Definitely one of the news networks.
Yeah, she was. I think she was with MSG, but I think now she's with Fox Sports. But anyway,
she was definitely with MSG. Yes.
It's, dude.
What are we gonna do? What could we possibly do? Aside from knocking down buildings ourselves.
Well, and look, that's the thing, right? You can have season ticket holders dropping their season tickets, which I'm not going to be one of those people to do that. You can have people getting upset, and listen, dude, I'm not like I'm not surprised by this. I'm not upset. It is what it is. No amount of I don't know, just raucous like people in an uproar is going to make real estate more available in New York City.
That's the main thing. So, that I think is the main thing. I think people only see 2 or 3 sites available, and they want to know why we're not being told about what possible plans could be. And that's fine. I understand you're upset with that. I also understand about playing things close to the vest and having leverage in certain situations and whatnot. But when it comes down to it, diminishing season ticket numbers is not a stat you want to be showing potential investors.
No,
when
listen,
it's to building a stadium and stuff like that. You know, you don't want. Yeah, we're going to build you a stadium for the 30,000 people you lost already. You know, that's an exaggerated number, obviously, but I mean, you understand what I'm saying. That you want numbers to be going up and say, listen, we got no more room for these guys. We got to find something, and that's a different story. So dropping your season tickets to me makes no sense. Unless financially you can't afford it, then you do what you have to do, obviously. But as a fan, I mean, what you dropping your tickets does not make a building come down in Manhattan or the Bronx or Queens.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Again, it's Christian is saying old news. oldnews.jpg. That's really funny, Christian.
Yeah, it's just what do you do?
It's new old news, right? It's new old news. There's really no sense in beating this dead horse. Just be patient and be fortunate that we have a team that we can root for. And,
exactly. That to me is the biggest thing. You have a place to go on the weekends.
Right.
You can watch. You're there for 2 hours, a little bit more than that if you hang out early or late. You get to watch a good product on the field. What else do you really want?
Anthony here is saying drop season tickets for bad results, not whether or not they get a building. That's
dropping for. Why would you drop tickets? Every team has bad years.
Yeah.
Every team has bad stretches. The New York Knicks are awful, and their building is full every night.
Yeah.
Let's be serious about this. You don't need to drop your fandom. If you can't afford the tickets, fine, but don't tell me that you're going to drop your tickets because the team's playing bad. That's ridiculous. You're not a real fan at that point.
David is saying that as long as we keep David Villa, then I'm happy. We've got Amanda is saying, but we went to the playoffs last year for the second year in a row. It's not bad results. And it's not. You know, we're putting a decent soccer product on the field, and it's getting better and better incrementally, and that's what you want to see. I mean, nothing sells more tickets than winning, of course, right? So
or Zlatan.
Or Zlatan. Dude, I'm not even kidding you. I might go to see LA Galaxy in Philly against Philly in July just to see that man grace the pitch because
I will join you, sir.
I just want to see it. I just want to see it in person. Dude, so guys, right before we wrap up the show, we've got one more little tidbit to share with you guys. Last week, I really don't remember.
It was last week.
Was it last week where somebody asked where they can get that shirt that you had behind you?
Yeah.
I totally forget who it was. But guys, if you haven't already heard, if you haven't checked it out on Facebook or whatever, I want to show you guys. We have officially launched the Dudes in Blue shop, and I'm going to share it with you guys right here. Our own custom designs that are made specifically by us and for you. On all sorts of shirts, accessories, mugs, whatever. You guys, your support has been amazing so far. This is just another way for you guys to show a little bit of love to the show. We never ask, we really try not to ask for anything of you guys. But this is one of those things that helps support the show if you can, if you like some of the designs. Like, check this out. This city is ours. We've got it for men and women here. We've got fitted t-shirts. These things are absolutely sweet. Check them out. They're really reasonable too. We try to, mostly everything is under $20, just about 20 or under, right, dude?
Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, you can find your Adidas stuff for $30 at a pop, and unless you get on Amazon, which you know how we do that too. But again, Joe and I come up with the designs. We do it ourselves. I've put literally about 30 or 40 hours worth of work into this over the last week alone, on top of my full-time job. So it's really just a way to support us, the club, have a little fun with it. The shirts are made to have a little fun flair to them. If you're familiar with New York Rangers, the We Bleed Blue line, or the Mets, they have the 7 line, or Bald Vinny for the Yankees. It's going to be something like that. It's something we've wanted to do for the last 3 years that we finally could come to an agreement on how to do it and where to go to do it. So check it out. We'll try to put stuff on there as often as we can. When something cool happens during the year, they'll probably have a cool design about it. And again, it's available on so much stuff. If there's something that you want to be on, you like a design but you want it to be on this, let us know. We could possibly have it arranged to be in the store. Really, it's all for you guys, and we really hope that you guys enjoy it and pick some stuff up. Again, we try to keep everything as least expensive as possible. We're literally at the breaking point where I couldn't make the prices lower because they won't let me.
That's right, yeah, guys. So really, if you can, go check it out. You can visit the store at dudesinblue.com. I'm sure there's a link somewhere in one of the Facebook posts that you've seen recently, but you can get it right on dudesinblue.com. Just go to the shop and you guys can check it out there. I hope you guys enjoy. We hope to see some at the stadium. I hope by next week's episode, we'll actually be wearing some of the gear. Anthony and I ordered like a ton of shirts over the weekend.
$170 worth of stuff.
That's it. So we just really appreciate you guys. We hope you guys enjoyed the designs. We try to make them really fun. And if there's anything that you guys want that you guys think would be a good idea, shoot us a DM. Shoot us a DM on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and hit us up and let us know. I mean, fan input is always very welcome, like you obviously know. That's how we kind of run our show.
That's how we do it. You guys really run the show, to be honest with you.
That's right. So, guys, for the final time tonight, smash that like button for us. Let people know that you're enjoying the Dudes in Blue. Give us the follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Congratulations to Ishmael Tajuri Shradi. I always have to double think this. It's like it's like
well,
too many names in one name.
I've heard today. I've read on Twitter from a numerous amount of people that Tajuri is the middle name. And Shradi is his last name. He prefers, is he Shradi?
Yeah.
Is he Shradi? Is he not Shradi? I don't know. But for me, I love the Tajuri sauce. I think we'll keep the Tajuri sauce going. The Tajuri sauce adds a kick. Let's be serious.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. So congrats to Tajuri on winning Due to the Mash tonight. Thank you guys all for joining us for episode 95. We will be right back here. Next Monday night, 8 p.m.
Which is a special episode.
Is it? Why?
Because it's a birthday episode.
This guy. And then you're the next day.
And I'm the next day. So it's a birthday episode.
Yeah, so we're actually doing an episode on my birthday. My wife is not happy with it, she's chiming in right now, and she's saying, guys, the shirts look really good. Baby Joseph is totally going to rock the little dude tee this summer. Watch out, ladies. Yeah, we ordered one for Joseph, so that's going to be awesome. But yeah, I hope you guys will come and maybe have some cake with me. I'm just going to be shoving cake in my face during the whole episode, no matter what the result is on Saturday.
Oh, I will pay Kara to cake you in the face live.
And here's the thing, I am totally vulnerable in this. I'm totally vulnerable in this spot because you could just come right behind me and just right in my face.
Amazing.
This could happen. Well, guys, again, thank you guys so much for joining us for episode 95. We love you all. We appreciate all the comments and all the likes and everything. You guys are the absolute best. So until next Monday night, guys, stay blue.